Yo, what's up with y'all, boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here on this Money Making Wednesday, man. Look, we got a full schedule of WNBA action, man. 5 games, all day action too. Really, starting early on a random Wednesday. I thought that was kind of weird, but we're here to break it down nonetheless. Here with my guy Chris Ruffolo. Ruffolo, what's happening, my man? How you doing?
Dude, the biggest WNBA card we've had on the layup session so far, like you said, 5 games. We were talking about it before we started recording this. It was just like, why is it starting at 11 a.m. on a Wednesday? But you know what? Daytime sports is one of our guilty pleasures, so I'm not going to complain. So, we got plenty of money to be made. Just means we get to roll more of it into the primetime action, too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get her done. Without further ado, let's hop right in. First game of the day, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Connecticut Sun at home at the crib with the Liberty coming in. Liberty, road favorite, laying 2 points in this one. Look, if you watch my NBA Jam session, if you watched a couple episodes here on the WNBA, then you know I love me a home dog that also has revenge, man. And I have to take the Connecticut Sun here in this style spot. These are two, I think, very evenly matched teams. I'm not mad at the Liberty being the favorite here. I think, in the grand scheme of things, Liberty are the slightly better team, but I think that I think the Sun have every chance and can and will come out here and win this game today. I think that's how I see this one shaping out. So I don't even want to take the +2. I want to take them straight up on the money line and get that +120. So give me the Connecticut Sun first game of the day at home at the crib in the revenge spot. Ruffalo, what you like here in this one?
Yeah, I went back and forth on this game, and I can see where you're coming from with the home dog in the revenge spot. But I'm going to be on the other side here. I'm going to take the Liberty just because, for me personally, I trust the Liberty to show up more than I do Connecticut. We've talked about it before. The Connecticut Sun are a team that I felt have sometimes relied a little bit too much on their defense to try to get them over the hump and uh, get the job done in basketball games. And I think the Liberty are going to be eager to bounce back after, to put it frankly, just putting up a clunker against the Indiana Fever. I could understand if they don't cover that game, but to lose that game outright as 10.5 point favorites is pretty embarrassing in what is pretty much a spotlight spot when you look at the attention that the Fever have been getting this season with the Caitlin Clark effect. So I think in a headline spot, a potential Eastern Conference Finals preview, I think the Liberty come to play here. They've usually shown up in spots this season. I'm going to take the Liberty. I'm going to lay the bucket.
Next game up, man, we have the Atlanta Dream out on the road facing the Chicago Sky. Sky, 5.5 point home favorites here in this one. Ruffalo, what you like here in this one?
Yeah, it's going to be one of those rare instances where I take a player prop because for me, the line feels about right. The Dream have covered a couple games in a row, but the Sky are the better team, in my opinion, especially with all the injuries that the Dream have. And being at home where they have done their better work this season feels like a logical spot. But again, I could see this being a 6-7 point win. So rather than try to toe that line around the around the spread, I'm just going to go with old reliable for a player prop. I'm going to take the over in Angel Reese's rebounds over the course of this double double streak that she's been on. It started June 4th, so over the last month, she's passed this 12.5 rebound line 8 times in the 13 game stretch. She's just absolutely crushing it right now. As much as I like Tina Charles and some of the other rebounders that the Dream have, Reese has done more against better than what she's up against here. I think that you could probably take another extendo clip on this rebound total. We've seen her hit 14 plus boards in 5 of her last 7 games. So I'm gonna take the over in Angel Reese's rebounds, Jay.
Hey, I'm probably putting that in. I ain't gonna lie to you. And what I'm also gonna do here, I'm gonna lay it, Ruffalo. Hopefully it's not a tiptoe. Hopefully they just come out and beat up on the Dream. I think, like you said, Chicago is the better basketball team. I don't necessarily like the spot for Atlanta either. This is their fifth road game, last 6 games. Um, they popped in at home for one random game. Guess against who? The Chicago Sky. And we saw the Sky kind of beat up on them in that game in Atlanta. I think they do the exact same here in Chicago. The injuries to Atlanta, I think, are really hindering this team. Chicago, they have to win their winnable games if they're going to make any noise this season. Their schedule has been kind of rough here, going up against some of the best teams in the league, the Aces, the Lynx, the Storm. I think this is a breath of fresh air against a team they are head and shoulders better than. I think they take care of business here. I would lay the points with Chicago Sky and Angel Reese and company. All right, ladies and gentlemen, next game up. We got the Indiana Fever at home at the crib with the Washington Mystics coming into town. Indiana, 5.5 point home favorites here in this thing. I'm laying the points with Indiana. And it's kind of in that similar thought process as I just talked about with Chicago. And it's no surprise that it's the two young rookie phenoms having great seasons. I think Caitlin Clark does something similar here in this game. She propels her team to a nice, comfortable home win against a team they are head and shoulders better than. I've liked what I've seen from the Fever going up against some of the toughest competition in the league. Seattle, Vegas, New York. They played them all really, really tough. And I think this is another spot where they just beat up on a team that they're better than. The Mystics, I haven't liked what I've seen from them their last couple games. Fourth road game straight. We've already seen the Fever beat them twice this season. I think that's exactly what's in order here. Again, a comfortable Fever win. I like the Caitlin Clarks to go ahead and get this one done. Ruffalo, I'm laying the points. What about you here?
Yeah, I'm with you on laying the points here, mainly because I the thing for me with Washington is that they're banged up. The only real players they got right now are Ariel Atkins, Julie Van Loo's still there, but Carly Samuelson was big in keeping that game, trying to keep that game close for the Mystics. The last time these two teams met, back on June 19th, she had finger surgery. She's going to be out for a while. And like I said, it's not easy to replace 16 points in that game. She was 6 of 9, 3 of 6 from behind the arc. The Fever have done a good job taking care of business against teams on or below their level. They've had issues against teams like, Vegas and Seattle where they just ran out of gas late in that game, but they beat teams like Washington, Chicago, Atlanta, the games they need to win to be able to, sort of take that next step, put themselves in a playoff position. And I just don't think that the Mystics have enough here. The Mystics are struggling defensively as it is, and even against a team like Indiana, who's had one of the worst defenses in the WNBA this season, I just don't think that the Mystics have the horses to keep up offensively in this game. So I'm with you here. I'm taking the Fever laying the 5.5 as well.
All right, next game up. We got the Las Vegas Aces out on the road facing the Seattle Storm. I'm excited for this game. Ruffalo, what you got here?
Yeah, normally I don't believe in the somebody knows something mindset, but this line to me feels really funky. The Storm, yeah, this was an 11 win team last year out of 40 games. They were one of the worst teams in the WNBA last year, and they've come out flying. I think they've almost, if they haven't matched that win total already this season. But for me, as much as this Storm team has impressed early on the season, they've been great at home. We were always saying, when are the Aces going to wake up? And they finally started to. They were kind of, playing with their food a little bit through the early part of their schedule, through like the first, 13 games of the season or something. They had already matched their loss total from all of last year. But now, like I said, they've started to pick it up. They beat up on Seattle at home. They beat up on Connecticut at home. They've started to pick up wins where they've needed to on the road. Yeah, they stumbled against the Sparks, but for me, this boils down to the Aces being a team that show up in the big games. I like what I've seen from the Aces in a lot of their recent outings. I get why the home underdog Storm is tempting in this spot, but for me, I gotta lay it and play it with Las Vegas in this one. I just think there's just too much going in Vegas' favor to go against them here, so I'm going to lay it with the Aces.
Ruffalo, you're my guy, man, but I gotta go the other way in this one, man. I'm taking the Seattle Storm at home at the crib in the revenge game, man. It's just got to be done for me here, man. As I've said many a times here in the short time we've been doing this WNBA video, the Storm are just a different team, monster and animal at home at the crib. They low key go stupid, dummy, crazy at home at the crib. And they're comfortable there, man. What is this? They're like sixth or seventh straight home game. We did see them have the one hiccup against the Sky, but I loved how they turned around, got the quick revenge, and beat up on the Sky the very next game. And I think they get the revenge here on the Aces. We've seen them beat the Aces once this season, as the season series is currently tied 1-1. Both meetings were in Vegas, however. Um, Look, I can't deny a lot of what you said. The Aces are playing really good basketball. They are in their best form as we've seen them all season. They're the defending champs. There's no surprise there for me, in all honesty. But I just don't think they're going to win every game. And I think sometimes because they're the defending champs, they're overrated and overvalued. And that's kind of the feeling I have here. I think this is a very, very, very winnable game for the Storm, especially at home where they're comfortable. I want the points in my back pocket, and or I like to attack the plus money because I think they get them outright. And in our last and final game of the night, we have my favorite team, the Dallas Wings, out on the road facing the Phoenix Mercury. Mercury, 7.5 point home favorites here in this one. Look, I don't really like this game. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. Um, the Mercury, I don't trust them. They have some really big names on this team, but we've seen them lay eggs all season long. Are they the better team here? Most definitely. We saw them beat up on the Wings in that last game. The Wings kind of almost walked them down, but then we saw the Mercury extend that game out and cover in the end. Tarazi's out in this game. I don't like that for the Mercury. The Wings are one of the worst teams in basketball, and I don't bet them very often. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. If I were to bet this game at all, instead of grabbing the points, instead of laying the points, I would take a shot on plus 275 is what I would do on the Wings straight up money line. Maybe the Mercury come out and lay an egg like we've seen them do a couple times without Tarazi in the lineup. We've already seen the Wings beat the Mercury in Phoenix once this season, so it's not too far of a stretch to say they can do it again here, especially if what's the name get hot tonight. So give me a shot here. The Dallas Wings straight up on the money line. Nothing serious though. Ruffalo, what you think about this game?
Yeah, I think this is, like you said, this is probably my least favorite game on the board. Just with so much up in the air, and the fact that I just don't like having anything to do with the Dallas Wings in general this season. But I will say this: if anything, I get where you're coming from with Diana Taurasi, and that is a big thing to take away from the Phoenix Mercury and this team offensively. But what we have seen from the Phoenix Mercury is that they have been able to score against the Dallas Wings. I mean, realistically, who hasn't this season? But the three
Right.
head-to-head meetings, we've seen Phoenix put up 92 plus in all three meetings. And I get it, like I said, no Diana Taurasi stinks, but so far the line's only set at 90.5 for the Mercury's team total. I don't want to mess around with the total for the full game because who knows if Dallas, runs with them here or gets left behind. Who knows? We've seen the over hit in all three games, so maybe you go with the over for the full game. It's not somewhere I personally want to be. I can get where you're coming from, taking a shot on the value. For me, I'm just gonna go with what I feel is just the stronger play here, and just go with the Mercury team total over 90.5.
And that's going to conclude this episode, man. We appreciate each and every one of you, man, that continue to tune in and watch this video. Money Making Wednesday, man. We just covered all 5 games. That was kind of fun, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. Hopefully, we make some money and make it even better. I got some top plays for y'all for sale today, man. Y'all can scoop them up over at Pickdawgz Premium in the WNBA and, of course, Major League Baseball as we are in the dog days of summer. But appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. Ruffalo, what you got going on?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm gonna have some plays for sale for the WNBA card. When we have options, it makes it a little bit easier to have something up. So yeah, there will be at least one play for sale, if not a 3-pack. So we'll have to see. But like Jay said, even though it's the dog days of summer, great time to hop on a long-term pass. I believe the 3-day pass for me is probably gonna be cheaper than buying each of Wednesday's packages individually. So definitely something that you guys want to make sure that you check out.
Check it out, check it out, check it out, man. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. Money Making Wednesday. Let's continue to kick the crap out of the books. Let's make some money tonight, man. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Out of here.